Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Hannick, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet, Brad.
In our opinion, of course.
Brad, take it away. What are we talking about here?
Taking your blood pressure at home.
Sure.
Boy, you go to the pharmacy and you'll find different types of devices to take blood pressure. You can do it manually, the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way.
So, right, or you get this type. We're going to go through each of these a little bit. And which should you buy? And we're going to discuss what our opinion is from our experience.
This is just our opinion. This is not based on research. I mean, beyond the little research that we did ourselves.
Right, but clinical history.
Observation.
Yeah, it can be
anecdotal information. Yeah. That's what I found.
Right, and it means a lot to anybody in the clinic.
Yeah.
Okay, so the old standby, the manual, you'll wrap around the wrist, and this is when you go to the doctor.
Around the arm.
Around the arm, forget about that. Arm, wrist, I got it. And this is a type that someone else has to do. You can, well, I don't know if you can do it to yourself.
I can do it to myself.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done it to myself. But anyway.
You really got to know what you're doing.
Right.
This is a very skilled operation.
Yeah, to get it in there.
Yeah, to get it in there and to even know what you're listening for.
Right.
So it's not something the layperson can do. But, unfortunately, can I say this already, Brad?
You bet.
It appears that this is the most accurate one by far.
Well, I feel the most comfortable. In the clinic, when I'm working with someone, and I use this, and I'm not sure, I'll always double check with this, and then this is my gold standard. So, you know, in here, you go right under here. Usually these are marked. Yeah. I like to get it right there, and hold it there.
And then it gets pumped up.
And we'll have the person sit in a 90-90 position, so Bob, get your feet so they're sitting in good posture, so we have a consistent body posture with this. Whoa, he's up to about 240.
Oh, I should probably let it go, huh?
Yeah, let it down. Your arm's going to turn
purple. Let it go.
No fat here, let me do it. Yeah.
Oh, now it's going too fast.
Ooh, there we go.
All right, you got the idea anyway.
Okay, so that's, you know, nurses are really good at that. This is the type of thing that if you do it 3-4 times, you won't be good at it. If you do it 100 times, you'll be very good at it.
Right, you have to do a lot of them.
So you're not going to do this at home unless someone knows how to do it.
Right.
So then,
specific training.
Right.
So now you're limited to 2 other devices.
Okay, first we're going to talk about the wrist blood pressure cuff. Now, when you get these, make sure you read the directions on this particular cuff. It's made to go on like this.
You just put it on you.
No, actually, it works better on myself.
Oh.
I think because they put it on here, and this one,
read it.
Right, so that the numbers are upside right for you. And you just simply push the button, and there's a little battery in there.
Are you supposed to raise this above your heart?
Yep, I was going to talk about that. Yeah, you don't want it down here. You do want it above your heart. And on this one,
resting above your heart, or I mean, you're supposed to have it like
resting. Yeah.
So it shouldn't be lifting it here.
Right.
You should have it resting on a higher surface.
I'm holding it
there.
You're probably right, Bob. We should put it on a table. And to make it consistent, you do it the same every time, like Bob was saying. Probably resting on the table would be the best at your house. And this one, because I was moving, it gave me the error signal.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through it. We've got numbers on when I did it properly before.
Very, very easy to use, very convenient. But we'll talk about the results in a minute.
Exactly.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. What kind is this one, anyways? You know, this one doesn't even. What does it say on there, Bob?
It just has a model number. Again, there's just a whole.
Yeah. You can go to the pharmacy, and like this one here, we bought at Walgreens. They usually have a pretty good collection there, at least in this town. Okay, and these are pretty simple. They tell you where to line up, where this goes right above the inside of the elbow. You got to get in that 90-90 position, arm relaxed, in a position like this.
And it's just a big button you push.
Yep. And this one you push it to start it, and there it goes, pumping away. And as far as
very convenient.
Going over clothing, this one, you know, I go with the thin cloth, and I've had nurses go over.
I've seen nurses go over clothing too.
If you want to make sure, I think go right on your skin, and you'll feel the most assured that you're going to get the most accurate reading. And you know, you should
get you upset right now, Brad. So
yeah.
your blood pressure right up.
Well, laughing and all this too is probably going to throw it off, so you should be calm and relaxed.
Talking, yeah, all those things.
Oh yeah, I'm about ready to have a stroke according to this.
Which brings us to the results, right, Brad?
Right. I like this one. The results on it were pretty good to our favorite manual, and let's take a look at it here. We did these last night, and after leaving work, I wanted to get these trials so we get an idea. Here's the wrist results. Can you zoom in and get this?
Yeah, got it.
And this was my very first one I took. It was 138 over 109, and that got my attention real quick. And I hope my blood pressure's not that high. And I did not have my wrist where it needed to be, and I didn't have it still and all that.
So that was probably operator
Yeah,
error.
that one I really can't count.
Okay.
Then I did another trial, 129 over 91. That's making me feel better. And then I got this one, 103 over 55. Overall, I'm not happy with this wrist one.
Yeah.
The consistency is not there over 3
And
trials.
I can tell you just from using it on patients and using it on my dad, with my dad it was consistent for a while and then it went way off. And with patients, yeah, you're right, I'll check it with the manual, over against the manual, and they're off and off. They're just not close. I personally have not seen that they're reliable so far.
And they may get better.
They may get better, they may have gotten better already, but so far they haven't been reliable to me.
And then you go to the auto arm one. This was the one from Walgreens.
That was the one that was on the arm.
Right.
You just push the button.
Yep. And yeah, this one right here.
And that one too seemed like it had some problems, didn't it, Brad?
Not near as bad though.
Not as much inconsistency, right?
140 over 94, it's a little on the high side, 140 over 85, and then 126 over 87. So, boy, I like this number. I like to have it lower, but still, it's not as good. Then we go what Bob and I feel we are most dependent on is the manual, and the numbers were better. You got 118 over 82, 120 over 90, 120.
And fairly consistent, Brad. These are only within a difference of 3 on this one, difference of 8 on this one. I mean, this all seems very possible, where these seem very unlikely. And then to compare these to these, and done in the same night, right? And within the same time.
Right.
I mean, it just shows you. I mean, unless they improve these things, or unless there's something we don't know, these just have not been reliable, in my opinion.
And if I'm going to get one at home, like for my father does use one of these at home, and he has to check his, and it's working okay for him. It gives him consistencies and inconsistencies well enough where
maybe it can tell you when things are really going bad.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you've been at 130, all of a sudden you have a 160. Then you can know that something's probably not right.
And someone that has heart problems, they usually can feel it.
Yeah.
He says he can tell when his blood pressure is, and he gets his meds out. So we don't have real good reports on the auto ones, but in my vote, I'm going to take the auto one that's on the arm before the wrist, and then the manual one is Old Faithful.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, this relates to our old saying: we can fix just about anything
except a broken heart.
Say no more.